Here's what the player that submitted the review had to say. Good evening. Man, your content has been extremely instrumental in my improvement in the game right now. However, I feel as though I'm stuck in a cycle of dropping in and out of diamond and would like for you to look at my game where I was trying my absolute best and see what mistakes I'm making and what I'm doing well. I'm a Thor main and will use him and Flex and Magneto if main taking with him feels rough. The game I submitted is a match where I first entered Diamond. I'm looking forward to your feedback. As always, if you'd like your replay reviewed, scroll down to that pinned comment below and reply to that comment with the instructions. That way you can have your game reviewed. Now this player actually is Grandmaster, so it took me a minute to get to his replay. I had to do some backtracking. They also are a member of the channel, so I think YouTube might have blocked it or something like that, but I'm getting to your game now. Also, thank you for supporting the channel. If you are a member of the channel, if you guys didn't know, your replays are gonna have priority. So just keep that in mind. If you want your replay reviewed, it's going to have priority, but also you're helping to support the channel as well. So it's kind of a win-win situation. Now I will say, Verde, I apologize for getting to your replay so late. I actually seen that follow-up comment. So Verde is now Grandmaster. They said my videos helped them to reach Grandmaster. So this isn't a Grandmaster game, but this is a Grandmaster player. So we're going to be looking at this story gameplay. I'm kind of excited because this is a domination, and this is the first time I think there's ever been a domination on this channel. Well, not on the channel, but like in these reviews. You have two options when you're playing a domination map. You can either go to the map, or you can go to the point and like start fighting there, or you could fight around the point. Most of the time, especially in situations like this, the point will be open and there's not really any cover for you. If there is cover, it could be destroyed. So you really gotta think and pick your fights wisely when you're going into playing domination. There's different ways you can approach it. So this is gonna be nice to see what he does, or see what they do. Putting some damage down, I like it, I like it. Okay, you decide to turn and go here. So the problem with this, I don't know if you're on comms, because that was a weird, that was weird. You know, that was very, you just instantly went like you knew what was going on. So I don't know if you're on comms or not. Regardless though, it's still the choice being made. What you did just here is open up your entire team to their team, right? We didn't really pay attention to where she was, the fact that she's trying to go. I don't even know what's going on with these two. Is she AFK? Basically, we're fighting without thinking about where everybody was. And in a game of domination, all it takes is for one of your teammates to just die, and that usually snowballs into point. Unless you have a rocket. I mean, you do. But just kind of keep that in mind before you go out and just do things like that. You really need to focus up on like your team. So your team rightfully gets pushed back. It was going to happen because their frontliner left, and then their other, you could call Wolverine a quote unquote frontliner, also left. So they don't really have anyone there to protect them, which means they had to fall back. This means that you two are going to be vulnerable. Now they could have done this in a better way. They could have just taken advantage of you in general. Like if we look at what they did when they seen that you turned, let's look at it from, okay, this is not there. Let's look at it from their point of view, a little bit further back. All right, so let's take a look at it from their point of view and see like what does it look like when the frontliner just leaves randomly. So Venom goes, you go. Right here, they should have just turned. There's no way they don't just funnel into where you went and just collapse on you two. This is one of those type of things where you're thinking in the moment, but not actually thinking about the repercussions of what's going to happen or the ramifications, right? If I go into this, I leave my team, right? The front line's gone, and then they could just follow me and collapse. What is your team going to do? Go from behind? Okay. Like what? So the realistic thing is you're here by yourself. This guy's basically not a teammate because he's low on HP. He's going to want to run. Your DPS is back there, and both your healers are like somewhere up there. So you just don't have anybody to help you. Luckily you didn't die, but that's what could happen if they just thought about it more. Their perspective literally just gave them a free win, but they didn't take it. Keep in mind this is a diamond game. The player is now Grandmaster, but this still is a diamond game. Okay. Yeah, that's what I expected to happen. It just happened really slowly. You know what I mean? It happened really slowly. Now, although you are Grandmaster, I don't know if I said it. I have forgot. I remember it in editing it. But this player originally was Diamond, or this is the game to get him to Diamond. And their comment, I think, got hidden. So I didn't see it or something like that. And then they replied and said, hey, I'm Grandmaster now. I know you didn't see my replay. My bad. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. But here's the replay. So we're trying to reclaim space. As I said before, it was kind of your fault at the end of the day when you just decided to leave. I don't know if you're on comms with the Wolverine and that's what happened, but for the most part, you leaving as a frontline when you're solo tanking is a no-no. You don't ever want to do that and leave your team open. When you're solo tanking, you have to think more about your team than you do your own gameplay. And I know that's it's a strange concept to think about when you're playing something like Thor, Captain America, Hulk, like these characters that don't care about their team. But when you're solo tanking, you have to switch your brain onto, like, if you're playing Magneto or if you're playing Strange, and think about what your team is going to do with what you do. In this instance, it's literally the same exact thing that's happening now. I'm going to assume this got cleaned up a little bit, but it's possible it didn't. So I'm going to cover it. Even though you did rank up, I'm still going to cover it because, you know, mistakes still happen. Something to just think more about. I like that though. I really like that. I like that a lot. So if you guys didn't know, when you're playing tank, it's a push and pull game. It's a game of like, okay, I'm pushing and then, oh, you're pushing me back. Well, I'm pulling back. It's a game of push and pull. Okay. You have 3 types of ways to play this as a tank. You have like, you're losing, like hard losing, you're winning, right? Or you're stalemating. In a situation like this, it was a stalemate for a while, but Thor was thinking about, well, what can I do with the situation, right? If we look at it from this perspective, you know, all right, let's play it out. You see kind of how it's like a stalemate? Too far, because Thor gave up space there. I'm sorry. You see right here, it's like a stalemate, right? You're trying to hold your ground. I think you come back. Yeah, you're trying to hold your ground. You come back. You try your best. You start scraping a little bit. And you come back and you see nothing's really happening. It's kind of like, what can I do? What can I do? Where can I get in? That's what you want to think about all the time when you're tanking. What can I do? Where can I get in? Is this when I push? Is this not when I push? What do I do? I don't know if you're doing this on a subconscious level or if you're actually thinking about this. If you're subconsciously doing this, you're cracked. But if you're thinking about it in the moment, okay. But yeah, that's what you're doing. You're waiting for the opening. Wow, that right there was the opening. This dude just hooked this guy. That's your opening right there. Oh, God. That dude said, I wanted to be pulled. Well, that's that. We lost that fight. Just run away. It's game over. Run away. That's the lose, right? When we talked about losing, what do we do when we lose? We go backwards, right? Literally doing a very good job on the pushing and pulling aspect. Again, domination is different from convoy though. So, or convergence, either one. Domination is different. You have to play differently. It has some similar aspects, but the cart doesn't push for you, basically. Nice, good catch. Now you know that they're down 1. You're down 1 as well, and it's a healer. You might have a hard time winning this one. Ooh, they ulted. Just get out. You don't have a healer, and she just ulted. Yep, just dip. Just dip. Nice, nice. This is a thing that you should know how to do as a dive tank. You should know when to leave, when to come back. When to leave, when to come back. Like, you should know when to disengage. Okay, your enemy's ulting. What I would like to see, obviously I don't know if you're doing it, but I would like to see you pull up the scoreboard and look at who has ultimates. If we pay attention to your ults, we see that you have it, Magic has it, Winter has it. Actually, your whole entire team has it, but Star-Lord. This means we can play off of each other. Unfortunately, your healer decides to ult, so that's rough. Your Winter Soldier also decides to ult, but dies for it. Off of that ultimate, you decided to go in, which is what you're supposed to do. You don't really have any other option. You don't want that ult to be wasted. I don't like that. Destroy this first. Then destroy him. I know the kill got juicy, but it's not really gonna do anything if they res right back. Look all this work you put into killing this guy, and then guess what? That person's gonna res right back. All that work, all that effort to kill somebody, and then they res right back. And now you have to deal with it. Okay, you're piecing out because you need health. Could you just leave to your team that's healing you? No, they're dead. Wait. Yeah, they're dead. Okay, yeah, you made the right decision. This is just kind of a lost cause. This one was hard because you basically like... Oh no, she was there. Wait a second. Did she... She was there. Or did she just get there? Am I crazy? I didn't see her originally. No, she was there. Okay, yeah, you should have definitely went back down to your team. I know sometimes you feel like health packs are the way to go. I do this as tank too. But you have to really keep in mind that whenever you're running to get a health pack, whether you're a DPS or a, well, really, it doesn't really matter who you are. When you run to get a health pack, you're out of the fight for a long time. So if we go back to just when you decided to go get that health pack, let's see how long you were actually out of the fight there. So you're doing your thing, bang, 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 boop, bop, bop. You get a kill, easy clap. Cool, and we go to get a health pack now. I don't even think we were going to get a health pack. I think we were fighting, but you got exploded by something. So now I'm pretty sure health pack is on your mind, right? Not going back to your teammate. She is really trying to help you too. That's wild. I would have tried to play around my healer here just because, like, this is just a random spot to be in, unfortunately. I think your target priority was kind of iffy because the res, but if you would have just destroyed the beacon, we wouldn't even be in the situation, right? We got kill hungry. But yeah, when you're out the fight, look, like you're out the fight for like 5 to 10 seconds. And then you die. So you're out the fight for even longer. And we could have just tried to play with our healer. We got to see it. Hopefully they can clean it up. They do end up cleaning it up without you. Wow. That's a squad right there. So two times so far. I'm just going to highlight this because it's important, especially since you're already Grandmaster. The first thing is we left our front line because we're solo tanking. We left and then our team just got collapsed on. So we gave the point away for anyway, or for, we gave, what do I say? Woosah, popping, woosah. Okay. Scene. The first mistake that we did, and it's pretty important, which is why I'm highlighting it, is because we allowed them to take that first point anyway, right? We left front line and we just was like, okay, I'm going to help Wolverine. And then your team just got collapsed on. The second mistake here was greeting for the kill rather than just killing the beacon. You have to set your priorities straight whenever you're playing. It doesn't matter what role you are. You need to set your priorities straight in what you're focusing, what you're doing, what you're targeting. All of this is hard to do because it happens simultaneously, right? You're not taking a pause. You're not playing a MOBA. You're not playing an RTS, right? You're playing Marvel Rivals, right? You're playing an action shooter game. Like, you have to think about so much at one time. It's crazy. Were you near that beacon again and didn't do it, damage it? Or am I crazy? I feel like you were, but I'm not gonna go back. Okay, you're holding spot. I really like the fact that you constantly use cover too, by the way. Like, a lot of players don't do this. This is wild. Like, this is really well done. Like, you know how to play your life. The thing is, you're a very good player yourself, but for your team, it's kind of lackluster. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's kind of like, if this were a random fighting game where it's one-on-one, bro, handles. Like, your mechanics are well thought out, your thought process, that's something a lot of people lack, and you have good thought process, but it's all for you. None of it's really for your team. And I could be wrong, right? You could be thinking differently, but just gameplay wise, that's speaking, a lot of what you're doing is for you and only you. It's not really for the benefit of your team. Now, you could say the things indirectly benefit your team, which is true, but sometimes you want to think more proactively about your team and about what they want to do. How can I get them to do that? What can I do to benefit the situation? Because right now, you're pretty much, I reviewed another Thor last week. That Thor was very good mechanically, but they weren't thinking about the whole game. They were just thinking about their gameplay. You're thinking about your gameplay and how you play, which is great, but we're still lacking that team element. And again, I don't know if you're on comms or not. Maybe they're telling you it's okay. I'm not sure. But that point was awarded because your team did well with what you did. But a lot of what you were doing, it's weird. It worked out. That's what I'm trying to say. It worked out, okay? You don't really want to have a lot of it worked out situations when you play. You want to do your best to try to make the situation yourself. When you can do that as a player, that's when you're going to become one of the greats. So we're going to try to use that same thought process here. And we're going to see how we can better apply what we just spoke about in the last round, okay? So here we go. Going in there. Nice. Fly like an eagle. You can go a lot of ways. You know, you can go down by hitting this stairway. You can go in the middle, or you can go this way. But again, if we don't have to, we don't really want to fight on point. I really like that. I don't even know how that guy died, to be honest. That was some not awareness. Okay, we just spoke about this. We just spoke about this. Right now, what's more important? We have 10 seconds on the clock. You just noticed that your Star-Lord dies, right? We also noticed that this guy is fighting this other dude. Which fight is better to take? The 2-on-1, or what is this, a 4 or 3? Where's your other healer? Are they AFK? Oh no, they're here. So the 2-on-1, or the 4v5. Never mind, it's a 4v4. 2-on-1 or 4v4. I don't know. Where's my counting at today? It's better to just go take that guy out because you're not realistically losing any points for this. If you think about it, right? You're not losing any. It's 10 seconds left before the location even pops up. So you could go help this dude. Even if you don't kill him, you back him off because you're putting too much trust in your teammates. And this is why I think you're on comms, because this isn't realistic if you're playing by yourself in a solo queue environment. So maybe he's like, I got this. He's low. Who knows? But for me personally, when I did my climb on all the roles, I don't use chat and I don't use voice comms. I don't listen. Up to you what you want to do. You can calm, you can premium, whatever you want to do. But I'm just saying, I'm kind of looking at it as a solo queue perspective. So just let me know in the comments if you're like, oh yeah, Pop and I was talking to these guys, because it would make a lot more sense on the decision making. But in this regard, I'm going to just speak as though the person watching, which is you, the viewer, are a solo player. In a situation like this, you want to try your best to just take a lot of easy fights. You don't want to trust your teammates constantly to do things for themselves. When you end up in a situation like that, your teammates can let you down more often than not, and this is where the game becomes extremely frustrating. Not just Marvel Rivals, but any team game. So if you can do your best to make it so that you're always taking fights that are in your favor, there's a lot less fights you have to worry about that your teammate has to win. Because imagine if this dude just gets clapped on and then he rotates and now your team has a 5v4 all of a sudden because your teammate died. I think he's close enough to Rez, to be honest, from Rocket. That's kind of cutting it close though. It looks pretty far. But you'd still be at a disadvantage. So you're basically putting faith into him. And I wouldn't suggest that if you're a solo player, whoever is watching this video. So you're going in. Oh, you really went in there. That was ballsy. How are you getting away with this? A lot of stuff is working out and it shouldn't. I mean, are they missing you? Hold up, let me go back. Are people not landing their shots? What is this guy? Oh, he was reloading at the time that you went in.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Did Rocket not have infinite ammo? I'm only checking these things because when things shouldn't work, they shouldn't work. He had the infinite ammo. Okay, this game went in your favor mainly because they don't play the characters. I'm not going to use that as a reason why you're winning, but a lot of what you're getting away with, you shouldn't be getting away with. I mean, that much is clear. That just does not happen. And I'm not going to obviously sugarcoat things when I do the reviews because I want you to get better. I want you guys to climb and all that. If you send me a review, I'm not just going to glance over it and be like, oh, good job. Because like, I see the things that is probably going to get you stuck later. And if we don't rectify those things, you're going to be stuck once you get there. And it's like, oh, I could have just told you that from the get-go. That should not have happened. I don't know how many situations you find yourself in where you're lucky as a Thor player. I think Thor players get away with a lot, to be honest. Whether you're PC or console, whenever I see them, like the character is insane. He gets away with a lot, and you have to be very careful about that because that's the type of character that'll teach you to be incorrect, to just have incorrect gameplay. And it's gonna bite you in the butt later because when people get used to that and understand how to deal with that, you're gonna be in trouble. All right, so here's kind of another situation where I felt like you didn't really want. There was stuff you can do for your team and you didn't do it for your team. So before this, Magneto ulted. We instantly went on this guy. Could we have gone on anyone else there? When we think about being a tank, right? What are the odds that Magneto is going to throw his ult at you? It's very, very rare. And if he does, good job, because you took it off of your DPS or your healer. So honestly, you'll want that. But let's see what happens. Let's go back. We got to see it kind of from an outside perspective. Let's go back a little bit further, because we got to make sure that we see all the targets. So we see Thor, right? We see the Punisher. We see Magneto. Instead of going for the Thor, we could have just went for these guys right here. Now, I could understand your thought process of like, well, I didn't want to be shot from multiple angles, which I totally understand. I totally understand. I'm just putting this idea in your head. If we went this way, you technically could still be protected. Now, there is someone up here. Well, I mean, that's just what you have to do. That's what you do as a tank, right? Is creating space. So should he shoot you, good job, you did your job, because that means he's not shooting your team. So I would just fly here and just kind of chill right here and play the game and try to keep those guys back. That's all I would do. This doesn't really benefit anybody but yourself. And that's what I'm saying is like a lot of your gameplay right now is focused around your actual mechanics, which are smooth, you know, understandable. And then it's very selfish, and you're not going to get that far being selfish as a player. With Thor, it kind of works out because it's Thor, but for the most part, it's very hard to climb being a selfish player. You're going to have to think about your team a little bit more when you do your plays or go for things. Even here. Oh, I think you were trying to go after them. Okay, I was gonna say, you didn't even try to go after but you did. Okay, good job there. Hey, you're trying to go up together to get to that Punisher. I do like that. You're going back down. There's no way you're playing solo. The way that you're playing, it just has me mind boggled. Because it's like, you know where everybody is every time you do something. So I'm mind boggled. I haven't seen a game like this. This is interesting. Either you are playing pre-made or you're calming with them. It's nice because you are working with them. Or it's just a coincidence. I honestly don't know. That's why it's weird. I can't fully tell. But you guys are like on point together. Like the magic was going with you. Your healer was in the right spot. Good beacon destroy. It's kind of the same thing. And it's not even your deaths. I don't even care about you dying. Just that the gameplay is kind of the same thing. It's like, we're just not doing enough for our team. It's not really a solo tanking thing. I know a lot of players feel like Thor can't solo tank, Penny can't solo tank, Hulk can't solo tank, Captain can't solo tank. They can. But you have to play them differently. A lot of the players that play these characters are one-track minded. It clearly doesn't, you don't seem to be one of those players, by the way. You seem to understand how to play the character, like in any given situation. And that's a really nice thing to have as a player. But just use it for your team a little bit more. So applying this again, we're already like just running in there and jetting in there, and your team is just too far. I know you were even looking back at them, but they weren't close. I'm gonna assume you guys aren't on comm. Maybe it was just coincidence. It had to have been coincidence. There's nothing you can really do. Good outplay though. Like, that was solid. That was solid. Nothing you could really do in terms of the point, but that was the solid way to regroup back with your team. I guess nice. I just feel like you're not getting punished when you should though. And I always feel bad saying things like that because it's not really, I don't want to just downplay what you're doing because it's not bad, you know? But a lot of what you're doing just should not be flying, and it does. And that's what kind of scares me. You shouldn't be getting away with that much. Just kind of sitting there frontlining. Nice. I would like to see you just use cover a little bit more when you're in these range forms. I noticed you kind of do it out in the open, which is fine because you do have an overshield, your team is there, etc., etc. But just imagine there's another fight going on, and there actually is another fight going on right here. Your healers don't really have to focus on you because they're focusing on healing that guy, right? And you're behind cover. So I would just like to see you use cover more often. You did it in the last round, and it was really well done. But I noticed I've been consistently seeing you not do it, so maybe it was just that match. Maybe you did it subconsciously. Remember when I said that? I was like, I don't know if you're doing a lot of what you're doing subconsciously, but but it's working. It was working. If you could do it consciously, you'd be God. I probably would have waited for that ult, so that way we can just get them when they're all on point. Now you're just trying your best to keep them there. Yeah, I really wish you had ult here. Yeah, these things just work out, man. I don't really know what to tell you. Like, the game itself, the way that this unfolded isn't proper. And it's not even a you thing. It's just one of those one-off games. What I will say, I don't actually know, do you win here? You do win here. What I will say is that I do like your mechanics. I feel like if you're a Thor player, you need to have mechanics. I mean, it's like the, what is the thing? I can't think of the word right now. It's like your ritual, right? It's like, dude, if you're gonna play Thor, you need to know how to press buttons, or else you're kicked out. All right, it's the rite of passage. And I also like the fundamentals of the character, not mechanics, but game knowledge. You understand what you should and should not be doing, where you should go, where you shouldn't go. You understand the ins and outs of the character on a macro perspective, which is game knowledge, and that's crucial. However, I think some of the games you may be winning could possibly be because they could not deal with you. And that is what's scary, because you can't replicate the enemy team not being able to deal with you. So you just have to be a little bit more cautious. I also think that the team player that you could be isn't fully formed yet. So This one's kind of hard to do because you're not going to be able to really fix this until you run into a wall. You're Grandmaster now, so maybe you already did fix it. But I've still seen some Thor players in Grandmaster, which they still are a bit for themselves and not for the team. So if you want to get past that hurdle, I don't want you to change your gameplay. That's not what I'm saying. But you do need to actively think about, okay, well, what is my team doing and what can I do to better help that team? That's really all you have to think about. And you have to do it moment to moment basis. I notice there are some times in this game, because I see you stop, I see you think, I see you, but then once you like find a play that you want to do, it's an extended play that does nothing. And that's the problem. It's you have to learn how to switch gears every second. What do you need now? What do you need now? What do you need now? And just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again throughout the entirety of the match. Right now, it's like, what do you guys need now? Or what do I want to do? And then you just do it for a while. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then you just repeat that process. Make them a little bit shorter. Have them be in short intervals. And I think it would help you go a long way. This is more of a game knowledge thing, more of a macro thing. When it comes to mechanics, obviously you're a Thor player and that's fine. And a lot of how you play Thor is normal. There's nothing where it's like, oh, well, you should have thought about that more. It's like, not really, because you already do that. It's just about being a team player here. We need to be more of a team player. And this makes sense because you are starting to enter Grandmaster. And for you to get out of Diamond, it takes a lot more than just being good at the game or good at the character. To get to Grandmaster, to get the Celestial, to get to Eternity, to get to One Above All, you need to be a good team player. You need to be a good, well-rounded, adapting player. There should not be a lot of, it worked because it worked and it didn't work because it didn't work. If it works, you need to know why. If it didn't work, you need to know why. You know what I mean? So I hope this helped you out. If you want any other questions, or if you have any other questions, let me know down in the comments below. This was a very strange game to review. I'm not even gonna lie, this one was wacky. But the point still remains the same. Seeing your gameplay, just be a little bit more of a team player. Be a little bit more of someone that your team can rely on and not just a distraction force to be reckoned with. And I think that'll help you go a lot further in your rank climb. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you guys want to become a member, click that join button down below or go to the description link if you do not see the join button, and you guys can become a member to help support the channel and the content that I create. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Often. Well, often.